working again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's on?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Sorry, I'm having some connection issues and the phone overheated, so you guys missed a little bit of what's going on here, but not
Oh, I'm
too
not on
much.
Facebook.
Oh, okay.
You told me to just
I'm
record it.
gonna post it though, so it's okay.
Okay.
So I had to turn off the live stream and just go with a regular video for now until we could figure out why that's not working. Now I think I'm gonna need to use something else to get in there. They're so strong that they hang on to each other, and they like will hold my hands together because they don't want to separate from one another. If they are queenless, I'll be really surprised, but I can always add them to my other bees, the hives that are a little weaker.
How many hives do you have?
Right now, I think like maybe 12. I really love getting in these little corners. I have one sting.
Got you?
Yeah, I'll show you. It's still in my glove.
They go through your glove?
Sometimes they do, but currently this happened on the seam, so it's doubled up right there.
Oh, wow.
She's stuck. Can't get out. I might have just saved her life, actually. I don't think the stinger came out. Or did it? Is that it? No, it came out. She's gone. Yeah, the little stinger's right there.
Huh.
Let me get my brush so I can get into the corners with this a little bit better. Some people use a feather. I'm thinking about trying it. They don't really like the brush hairs too much.
Yeah, I got a power washer.
See, these are the ones that don't want to come off now. So them regroup.
So as big as the queen is she still able to fly?
Yeah, she's not a good flyer though. That's a great question. Sometimes, like before they swarm, they will stop feeding her so that she puts a little weight off, makes it a little easier for her to fly. And even a full-blown mated queen can fly, but once they get mated, they get bigger. But the thing is, they just can't fly very far sometimes, not very fast. I really don't see her, but I'm going to use my V-Quick spray really quick. This is not meant to be sprayed on the bees. It's not really toxic, but it can burn your eyes and whatnot. So, but I spray it in areas that I don't want them to run into, like higher up in the tree. They really hate the smell of this. Bees have an amazing sense of smell. They can smell nectar and a flower blooming from, you know, a mile away. So this stuff, they hate the smell. And just the same way you can draw bees in with smells, you can drive them out with smells too sometimes. One of the things I read they don't like is almond extract. I used that in a removal, the very first removal that I did to get them out of a tree. Seemed like it worked. And this smell will stay on the tree for a couple hours, which, you know, sometimes when I have bees, they really want to just keep going because they're really hardwired to go back to where they came from. So if they've been in this tree for 7 days, it's usually harder than what you just saw to get them to stop flying back up there. And so sometimes I have to bust out this stuff and just try to keep them from going back to the same spot. Once this whole area is, you know, smells too much like this, they'll give in. Oh, little big butterfly there. They'll give in and then they'll go to this box. I wonder if she's already in there. I didn't take any big handfuls, but it's possible she snuck in there too. Or she could have just flown right down in there. You never know. We were doing a removal about a month ago, and I had given up on finding the queen. I didn't really expect to find her, and I didn't care because the colony was so mean that I was going to need to requeen them anyway. And I happened to find her right on my face right here. So they just, you know, you never know. Sometimes they'll go on a ride, you know, with you rather than deal with all this stuff and go where their bees are telling them to go. Because that pheromone that they put out is not just for each other, but it's also for her. So sometimes queens get lost. If they leave the hive and the hive is moved or anything like that, they can't find their way back. These bees will send out a message and help them figure out how to get back. So I'm not spraying it on the bees, I'm just doing tiny little squirts. And then as they move down, I just keep squirting a little bit more until I can get them in a place that'll be really easy for me to grab them. Which is definitely not in the joint of a tree branch. So they're slowly just coming down, doing what I need. And if I can get them to come back here where they originally started, then I can just swipe them off. I didn't initially do that because I was worried that there would be comb there, and I don't want to smash them inside the comb if there's nectar in it or anything. It'll get all over their wings, and then you'll just have a ball of sticky bees stinging your hands. Yeah, but this stuff says it's non-toxic, but it definitely burns your eyes. Definitely. I accidentally rubbed some in my eyes once and I thought I was going to go blind. It's an oil-based product, so it's not easy to get out of your eye once you get it in there. now do you see them starting to fly? They're getting sick of it. So they might just start going down here where I want them to go. There's more bees flying. They're also noisier too. I don't know if you can hear that. They're usually so loud that when I'm this close to a hive, I can't hear someone as far away as you speaking to me. Yeah, they have a very high decibel level. I don't remember exactly what it is, but I do remember reading about it. Probably in comparison to a lawnmower or something, being close up to it. Smashing them. See, now they're coming down here, so it'll be easier to grab them from there. Trying really hard not to get them. I just want to get the tree. And it's really easy to use too much too. I've used too much and had the bees just fly somewhere else altogether. So that's something I don't want to do. But as long as they're underneath the branches, it'll be. There aren't very many. It looks like they're going to the box. Can you tell that they're kind of descending down? If you stand farther away, it's easier to get a better idea of where they're going. So sometimes when I'm in the middle of a swarm, I just step back a couple yards, and then I can see where the majority of them are going. So right now, I can just tell that most of them are coming down in this box, which is a good thing. I don't have to touch them.
Yeah.
The least amount of disturbance is better, in my opinion. Yeah, so if the queen's in here, I probably have gotten her in there already, because I don't see her up here. What I'm about to do now is just to get the rest off, because I don't want to smash them. You can't really grab them when they're not grouped up. When they're single layered onto the tree, you're just going to smash them. So I'm going to brush to agitate them off the tree, and then spray so they don't get back on it. You know, there's a tiny, tiny amount of wax residue here that I see, so that's interesting. It looks like they had thought about it and then maybe changed their minds. I'm not sure. Just brush and spray, brush and spray. Okay, so they're out of the tree. Let's make sure none of them grouped up any higher. But it looks like they're all in the box. And you see some of them are still trying to get on that tree, and that's why I was talking about how they're just hardwired to do that. They really remember directions well. They don't forget. Yeah, so none of them went anywhere else. They're all in the box. If there's a queen in there, she's in this box. I'm gonna look for her for a few minutes, and if I don't find her quickly, then she's probably not in here. But I'll try just to make sure.